The thing here I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna tell you in this video why that truck, the red AT4X 3.0 diesel, is the more practical truck of the two, right? And that AEV with the 6.2 is definitely the most fun. All right, guys, so today I have two trucks. I have a 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X AEV Edition with a 6.2 V8, okay? And I have a 2024 AT4X 1500 standard, right, non-AEV with a 3.0 diesel. My opinion though, hands down, 6.2 V8, definitely more fun, right? 3.0 diesel, practical truck, right? And you can get that 3.0 diesel in any of, really any, I think it's pretty much any trim in GM's lineup, right? But in the AT4X, the first year you could get the 3.0 diesel was in 2024, okay? And in 2023's, right, that 6.2 V8 AEV edition, the only really major upgrade in 2024, right? So if we're doing a true comparison, the only difference is in 2024, they do a damper on the exhaust. So you actually have in sport mode, it opens up the exhaust kind of like a Corvette would have, right? With the exhaust dampering, right? So that's really the biggest difference in a 2024 if you got that with the 6.2 V8. So anyhow, guys, we'll start with this AEV. This is a sweet freaking truck, okay? What they do, the AEV package on this truck gives you your Salta AEV wheels, right, which is an 18-inch Salta wheel, and you can see here, you got your AEV hubcap or center cap here. You can see the 6.2 V8. Of course, you got your steel front bumper. You're also gonna have a steel rear bumper, okay? You got your high clearance, like rock guard running boards. They're really not a running board, so as far as using them as a running board, you're not doing that. Everything's painted to match, blacked out in this truck, which I love. I think if you're getting an AEV, you got to get all black because it looks freaking sick. You got your Multimatic DSSV shock, which is standard on any AT4X, okay? As you can see here, steel rear bumpers, AEV branded. On the AEV Edition, you got the AEV badging. You get this black wrap on the top part of the tailgate in the AEV, okay? Your standard on any AT4X is your spray and bed liner with the AT4X emblem in the back. Of course, you have your multi-pro tailgate on all of these trucks, right, with your kicker sound system, the Bluetooth system in the tailgate, right? Tons of equipment on these trucks. This is the top of the line. The AEV, and you can see here too, you got sensors built into the steel bumper. You got your tow hook ready bumpers as well. And the only thing that's kind of a bugger here is you have GM's classic handle, but you don't have that step in there to get up into the bed. So not as practical in that sense, right? So guys, the other thing, the AEV, you're gonna get AEV stamped skid plates underneath. Like it's skid plates, diff cover. So if you had it up on the lift, you're going to crawl underneath the truck, you can enjoy those options on this, right? But this guy, whoever had this truck, I mean, tinted the front windows, and you can just see like this truck is a sweet freaking truck. Like it looks really good. The only thing I would do, to be honest, is put a bigger tire on that, because that tire really doesn't do the truck much good. For off-roading, it makes sense because you don't want a huge tire for off-roading, right? So you're actually trying to cut through snow, mud, whatever. That tire is probably actually perfect, right? So a 6.2 V8, this truck it makes 420 horsepower, right? You got 460 pound-foot of torque. That's 6.2 V8. You're gonna wanna run premium fuel in it, right? So to be honest with you, that's 6.2, and the reason I'm gonna say this truck's more fun, not as practical, you got running premium fuel in this truck. It's a performance engine. If you don't, you're gonna end up having a lot of issues. My shop's done a lot of work to these trucks. I do not recommend running regular fuel in them. And I've had guys that run regular fuel, and at 100,000 miles, they got issues, right? It's not a positive. So 6.2 V8, you have more horsepower and more torque than that 3.0 diesel. It is a lot more fun to drive, right? Your overall horsepower makes a huge difference, right? When you're just pulling out, you're getting on the highway, you're merging. It's a lot of fun, right? And the AEV, of course, you can go off-road and mess around. So let's look at the inside of this truck. All right, so AEV package really on the interior only adds the headrest, you get the AEV emblems in there, and you get your AEV branded all-weather floor liners as well, right? So I'll jump in here, start this puppy up. See, this thing's already set. They had their seat set to like max recline, so I guess this dude must have been freaking huge. Suede headliner, right? You got your rear view mirror camera, you got heads-up display, heated and cooled seats, auto climate, dual zone, you got heated steering wheel, you got massaging seats, which to be honest is freaking sweet. If you spend a lot of time on the road, if you drive a lot, it is a sweet option. And a lot of guys are gonna say, I don't need it, it's not necessary. Let's just say this, once you have it, it's really hard to get away from it. It's really hard to go backwards because on a long trip, it is a nice feature, right? I wouldn't want it without a warranty, but it's a nice feature. So all your trailering jazz, and I'll go into this because I was gonna show, what was I gonna show, your massaging seat. All the AT4Xs have massaging seats. What you can see here, you got roll, need, you got all your different wave, relief. So these things are, they're sweet, right? So the massage seats, you get all that. You have back bolsters on the side. You have lumbar multi-adjust there. You have upper shoulder adjustment, right? So these seats, they're a full grain leather seat, so it's a better leather than like a regular AT4 or a regular Denali. You got massaging seats, you got multiple lumbar, shoulder, side bolster adjustments, right? So they did a pretty freaking good job with that. You have locking front and rear differentials, right? Which is AT4X standard. You have the auto start stop, which right now it's turned off. You can turn it back on again if you want that thing to shut off at every stop sign or red light. That's a pain in the butt. You get this so you got like a leathery feeling interior with the white piping, right? White piping really everywhere. You got white stitching here on the center console. And then you got like a black wood grain on the doors, and the top of this is like a black wood grain, which is pretty sweet. You got the power sunroof, right? Which GM does not make a full pano sunroof like Ford or Ram does, but to be honest with you, I think it's more from a reliability standpoint. Those trucks have a ton of issues with that full pano sunroof. These really, you don't have as many seals to go bad and ways to get leakage into the truck, right? So I think, in my mind, I like that. I don't like having, all that potential to go wrong if you're actually keeping your truck for a while. Plus, your warranties, if it's a seal that goes bad, any warranty is really not going to cover it. So if a seal dry rots because you park your truck outside, water leaks and damage, unless you're still under your initial factory bumper-to-bumper warranty, a lot of times they're not going to cover that stuff. So, but let's get into the back of this truck, and I'll show you the room here. Back of these trucks, rear heated seats, rear air vents there, power sliding rear window. This all flips up, you can see, and of course you got your all-weather floor liner in the back. But really, guys, loaded up truck, right? All AT4Xs are gonna look like this. The AEV just gives you the skid plates underneath, the different wheels, steel rear bumper as opposed to painted, and the steel front bumper, but that's AT4X standard. It is a cold day in Pennsylvania today, but so AT4X, this truck with the AEV package, right, you're gonna add basically 10 grand to the sticker price of a regular AT4X, okay? So this AEV brand new is mid-upper 90s with that AEV package. Again, I think that's awesome. I think they did a great job with how the trucks look. For $10,000, can I add this stuff to a regular AT4X? Pretty sure I can. I think I would definitely lean towards getting a regular AT4X and adding it and making it look the way I want, maybe put a different wheel and tire on it. Because that AEV is really freaking expensive. I mean, $10,000, $12,000 ad for skid plates, a rear bumper, and different wheels, because those wheels, these Salta wheels are expensive, but still, I would definitely lean towards getting a regular AT4X and upgrading it. So regular AT4X right here. So the biggest difference here is the 3.0 diesel, which is 2024 is the first year you could get that in the AT4X, right? The 3.0 diesel in 24, which is their upgraded 3.0, which that's the upgraded 3.0 diesel. They changed out, I think they upgraded the turbo in that year in 2024 versus 2023. There were some other upgrades, right? But I know, and horsepower and torque is also tweaked. Like these now make 305 horsepower, and I think it's 490 pound-foot of torque, right? So they're a torquey engine, lots of torque, about 100 horsepower less, actually like 115 horsepower less than a 6.2 V8 for comparison. But torque's about 30 pounds higher on the 3.0 diesel versus the 6.2 V8. So the other big thing that I didn't get into with the 6.2 is fuel mileage. These are rated, the 3.0 diesel's rated for 23 to 28 mile to the gallon, okay? So really that versus the 6.2, where you're gonna be getting, heck, I don't know what they're probably rated 16 to 20, right? I can tell you though, if you're having fun with that truck, you should expect to get, I don't know, like 12 to 16 probably. On a long trip, you'll get better with that 6.2, but around town, you're not getting that great. So the 3.0 diesel, fuel economy, definite winner with that, right? And you can see this is just the regular AT4X. Really the biggest difference here versus the AEV is that you're not getting the AEV stamped skid plates, and you're not getting a steel rear bumper, and you just have their standard like alloy 18-inch wheel, right? Instead of that Salta all black AEV wheel, you're just getting the regular 18-inch alloy wheel, right? You got the same tire, you got the 18-inch 275 mud terrain tire. You're gonna have a steel front bumper with your LED fog lights, LED headlights. All of these, like your fender flares, are still like a black plastic, hard plastic fender flare. And your wheel wells, you're all gonna have that noise deadening, like felt carpet wheel well liner, right? But you got the Duramax turbo diesel, which also, props to GM for that. They kept all that in the same, like Duramax does their 2500 and 3500 engines, and they also had them do their 1500 small diesel engine, right? Which is different. Like Ram's done a small diesel, they had an eco diesel. Ram didn't make that engine to the best of my knowledge, that was farmed out. Ford did their small diesel, I forget if that was a Power Stroke or not, but those were kind of, it might have been, that was a small Power Stroke, but like those engines all flopped. Nobody liked, they were not a popular engine. Ram's 1500 diesel, Ford's 1500 diesel or F-150 diesel, like they were not a great engine. Guys did not love them. This 3.0 diesel, I can tell you, is the best selling engine I have right now in my 1500 trucks. Guys love them. As far as like fuel economy, efficiency, reliability, so far they've been great. And 2024 is the current basically engine with all the upgrades, all the tweaks they've made to it. And they started making these in 2020. They started making the small diesel in a GM or Chevy pickup truck. So they've really done, I mean, they kept upgrading them, little tweaks, little things they saw, hey, let's improve on this. And this is the most current. AT4X, you can see this is the burgundy or the red color, the red tint coat. I think it's cayenne tint coat, I think is the red that this is called. But you still got, like, you got a black mirror cover, right? You got this in black. So you can kind of see in the red versus an all black truck, you can kind of see what they actually do to make that the AT4X, right? Like this is all black here. This truck doesn't have any running boards. You can add whatever you want. But you can see in the back, again, you got the Multimatic DSSV shock, which is standard on the AT4Xs. And then this truck has the black painted rear bumper as opposed to a steel bumper. And like I showed you here, you got your step, right? Which in that steel rear bumper, you don't have the step. Kind of, I don't know, it's kind of dumb. But again, we'll open up the back of this. You can see standard spray and bed liner, AT4X in the back. We got our, there we go. We got this kicker sound system in there, multi-pro tailgate, all standard equipment with the AT4X, right? Go around. So guys, this really, the full crew cab AT4X. So inside of this truck, guys, biggest difference is you don't have AEV stamped headrest. and instead you have a GMC all-weather floor mat as opposed to the AEV all-weather floor mats, right? Everything else in this truck though is exactly the same. I'll start this thing up and you can barely hear that diesel engine. They are super quiet, like they're not loud at all. You do have to put your diesel exhaust fluid in these things, right? Which is that's every couple thousand miles you'll be putting diesel exhaust fluid in. But to be honest, not a big deal if you like getting mid to upper 20s fuel mileage. You're throwing diesel fuel in it, but diesel is less expensive than premium fuel that you have to put in the 6.2. So not a big deal, guys, not a bad deal. But yeah, you got the big touchscreen, tech package with rear view mirror camera, heads-up display, sunroof, suede headliner, heated and cooled leather seats, heated steering wheel, auto start stop. You can see locking front and rear differentials, trailering package, which they all have with the integrated brake controller. Big center console, right? Phone charger right there, which I love that layout. I honestly think that's the best layout for a phone charger in any pickup truck right now. But again, guys, Bose premium sound, massage seats, full grain leather, multi shoulder, back bolster, lumbar support. Ton of options on these trucks, right? So here's the back of this thing. We have, again, I didn't show you on the other truck, but these GM trucks, seating, I love it. Like, you got a ton of room. Not as much as an F-150, but way more than these trucks used to, and a full-size man or adult can sit in here, or a full-size woman, right? Can sit in these trucks very comfortably. Heated rear seats, right, which we need right now because it is cold. Power sliding rear window, but that's this truck all loaded up. All right, guys, so I just showed you the regular AT4X. I showed you the AEV Edition AT4X. The AEV has the 6.2 liter V8. The regular one had the 3.0 diesel. Guys, that is the most fun truck to drive, to look at, honestly. It's a sweet freaking truck. That one, in my opinion, is the most practical, right? If you're coming in, you want to save $10,000 on these trucks brand new. If you're going to save 10 grand, buy the regular AT4X. Throw a different set of wheels and tires on if you want. Make it look a little cooler. Spend 5 grand. You know, you still are saving 5,000 bucks. But 3.0 diesel, way better fuel economy. That engine's been awesome. 6.2 V8, a lot more fun, but not as efficient, guys. So you tell me what you think. Which truck would you rather own, the AEV or the 3.0 diesel? If you had to come in and buy that truck, which one are you buying? All right, guys, be sure to hit subscribe. More content coming. We'll get more trucks coming your way.